They say the woods around Black Hollow ain't natural. Folks whisper about wrong sounds in the night. Trees that move when they shouldn't. Shadows that follow even when the sun's high. But no one speaks louder than a whisper, not out there. Long ago, before the roads turned to gravel and the hollow was swallowed by forest, there lived a man named Elum Gray. A reclusive soul, Elum had buried his life in the swamp after his wife died in a fire back in town. His only companions were his 3 hounds, Bran, Mulk, and Riggs, beasts born of muscle, bark, and teeth. They were all that stood between Elum and the madness of solitude. The forest fed them most of the time. But that winter came hard and early. The first frost clawed into the land before the harvest. Animals vanished. No prints in the snow, no birdsong. It was as if something older, something hungrier had claimed the woods. Elum should have left, but pride roots deeper than fear. One night, after 3 days without food, Elum grabbed his rifle and stepped into the biting cold. His belly ached with emptiness, and his ribs had begun to show through his skin like pale tree roots. Bran and the others followed, ears perked, noses low. He moved deeper than ever before, past the creek that whispered like a dying man, past the ring of mushrooms that had never thawed. Hours passed. He found a hare, small and bony, but it was something. It went to the dogs. Still, their eyes glinted with starvation. He kept going, and then he saw it. At first, it looked like a shadow crouched between the trees, but shadows don't move like that. It was low to the ground, long and coiled, with legs too spindly to belong to anything that walks this world. Its eyes, bright yellow, not like a glow, but like lanterns stuck in its skull. Its tail swished through the snow, long and thick as a snake. Something about it called to Elum. He felt that hunger again, but not just in his gut, in his soul. He shot it. The gun cracked across the trees like a scream, and the creature let out a sound no man should ever hear. High-pitched, like metal on bone. The tail tore clean off. The beast disappeared, screeching into the black. Elum stared at the twitching, blood-slicked tail. It stank of sulfur and rot, but it was meat. He bagged it, stumbled home. He didn't think too long about what it was. It was meat. Maybe it twitched on the cutting board, maybe it bled black instead of red, but he boiled it with roots and herbs and ate it all the same. A strange warmth filled him. He ate every last bite. That night, the wind wouldn't stop moaning through the cracks in the cabin. The fire died too fast, and as Elum drifted between waking and sleep, he heard it. Scratch, scratch, thump. Something was inside, watching, breathing. He sat bolt upright. At the foot of his bed were those yellow eyes, burning, unblinking. A voice came, wet and hissing like a blade dragging through mud.
Give me back my Tailypo.
He screamed and called for the dogs. They leapt into the shadows, snarling. There was a horrible ruckus, wood cracking, a high-pitched shriek, and then silence. Only Mulk and Riggs returned. Bran was gone. Over the next 2 days, the forest grew wrong. Trees leaned toward the cabin like they were listening. The snow never melted, even with fire. And Elum began to hear voices, not just in his dreams, but in the waking world.
Tailypo.
He didn't sleep, he didn't eat. The second time, it came scratching down from the ceiling. The hounds howled and tore at the roof as the thing dropped down like smoke. The eyes found Elum again.
Give me back my Tailypo.
He couldn't scream this time, just pointed at the beast and shouted, "Get him!" The dogs tore into the shadow, and again the cabin shook with screams. Riggs came back, limping. Mulk was gone. Elum nailed the door shut, boarded every window. The forest outside had turned silent again. snow fell in reverse, upward, and his firewood hissed with black smoke. He tried to pray, but every time he said amen, something whispered,
Too late.
Riggs laid at the foot of the bed, ribs showing, breathing heavy. Elum didn't speak, didn't move. And then, just past midnight, it came again. It seeped through the floorboards. Formless at first, like smoke, then taking shape. Long limbs, bent joints, head cocked too far to the side, eyes wide. But no longer yellow, they were red, boiling and hate-filled.
Give me back my Tailypo.
Riggs leapt to defend his master. The Tailypo opened its maw, too wide for its skull, and swallowed the dog whole. Elum screamed. His gun clattered from his hands. But this time, it brought its voice.
You took what was mine. I want my Tailypo.
He was alone now. The creature slithered closer, black limbs twitching like insect legs. It was close, and he could feel its fetid breath on his cheek like rot and copper. It leaned close. Its breath smelled like grave dirt and scorched bones.
You took my tail. Now I take what's yours.
Elum screamed. Weeks later, the cabin was found in ruin. Inside, the walls were clawed raw. The bed was torn apart. The floorboards had burned from the inside out. No body was ever found. And the hounds, their bones were scattered in the trees, strung up with vines like wind chimes. And carved into the walls over and over in long, jagged letters,
Tailypo, Tailypo. Now I have my Tailypo.
They say that on moonless nights, if you wander too deep into forgotten woods, you may hear it. The scraping of claws, the low growl of something unnatural, and a voice rising from the trees.
Who has my Tailypo?
Pray it's not you.